So I'll show you something. They tell you never use a barbecue indoors because of carbon monoxide. But anyways, for several years, uh, don't let any of this fool you. This is not airtight. Anywhere where there's an opening window, generally there's a small gap wherever the window opens. Same thing on that one, it's not airtight. Same thing, that window over there, not airtight. This window is stationary, doesn't open, so it's sealed. Same thing with the one on the entry door. However, I do not weather strip the door. So if there's a strong wind against there and it's, really, really cold out, I just tough it out. Same thing, like I said, with my windows. I don't seal my windows in. They still breathe. Vents up top, same thing. I might put a piece of styrofoam inside the plastic cap, but I don't make it airtight. I don't go taping it off or putting some really kind of like a puffy type foam material that will block the airflow completely. The exhaust vent has a piece of rigid foam taped together that's pushed into the exhaust because the exhaust actually only goes out through the sidewall. And the only drawback with that is if I get a wind on this side, it's got a direct cold air draft, massive heat loss. But it's not airtight. It still has somewhere around about a 1/4 inch gap around it, and it still breathes a little bit. That one later on, I'm going to re-pipe it and have it go straight up and vent through the ceiling, much in the same fashion as my wood stove here. So all I did, you're not going to really see this, but on the low setting, when I first got this barbecue, that was the original low setting. And on that low setting, I could still heat a kettle of water, cook pancakes in a frying pan, and that was the lowest. That was the lowest I could get it to turn down. So then I just took a screwdriver and I cut the center of this open. How I learned this trick was I had one of those little butane stoves several years back, and the only way you could actually get it to turn off was to remove the fuel canister. And later on what I did was I discovered it had a little adjusting screw. With the butane ones, you remove the knob, you take this right off, and there's a little rotary, or the valve itself, and you just start to turn it in just a bit. You light the stove on gas and you make the adjustments. Make sure you still have a high setting that you can still cook and burn stuff with, right? But gas is not like electric. You don't need it literally red hot to make it actually cook. Like on that, I don't know if you can see that or not. Pull this light for a second, but anyways, that level of flame still can get a piece of metal glowing red. Literally get a piece of metal glowing at that low of temperature. Now, the difference with that is there's a height where the grill would be sitting. And the reason I got the grill over there right now is I acquired this barbecue from just doing a property cleanup, and I didn't really look at it too much. I just grabbed it and said, "Oh, that's cool. It's small. It's compact. I can stow it away in the RV. It's great, right?" I'm in a pinch right now where I just ran out of propane, and it's been over 6 months since I got propane. I'm not sure why it's taken me that long to run out of propane, but I did. And anyways, I just popped this out, put a little 1 pound to it, and this is actually heating in here nicely. Now earlier I cut up an old pallet and had a couple of fires going, and problem with that is I have to sit up all night and keep stoking the fire, cutting wood, and it just drains me, and I got to go and haul furniture around tomorrow for somebody. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of just show this a little bit, and one quick little adjustment in there. I'm not going to say how it's done, it just is. And it has turned it down. It's quieter. What I did earlier was I manipulated the control knob where I had it almost to the off position, and then I observed the gas going through the burner, and I was like, holy shit, you turn that way down. This type of regulator will run a lawnmower. You take this part here off, or this tube, and it's okay, it's got this air breather to it, and then anyways you adapt a hose to it, and you stick it to the part of the carburetor, and you just run it on an empty tank, and don't run any gas in it. And then once you switch it to propane, all you do is you just turn the valve and pull the engine, and it'll fire right up. Now, the difference between gasoline and propane, this is dry. Even in the LPG, liquid propane gas, or LPV, liquid propane vapor, you'll still get a certain amount of fuel going through, but it doesn't flood or soak your motor like gasoline will. The only drawback, though, is in certain temperatures, the propane doesn't want to work. The liquid form of it will freeze itself, so it doesn't depressurize or vaporize at really low temperatures. So a little bit of a drawback with propane in the wintertime. So at least with the wood stove, I got the advantage where I can still get heat in here while I'm out of gas. So, but anyways, that's what I got going on so far.